Hello, and welcome to Season 4 of the Goodtime Podcast. Viewers, it's been a very long time since we did an episode and, apologies, writer strikes, oblivions, the world ending. There was a lot of reasons, but enough about that.
No. Mr. Ankoma.
Yes.
Where have we been for the last 6 to 12 months? Time is relative, so we're not quite sure how long we've been away, but where have we been? Don't make me go good cop or bad cop on you.
That is true. For all devotees, this is co-host Julian Bracey Davis, our loyal presenter and hero, and possibly a spy, but more on that later. But of course, a lot's happened in the past year. We've still got a black president.
Is this being recorded?
Is this being recorded? I don't know. It might be.
Okay.
What are the rules?
I'm not quite sure.
Well, how much of a threat are we?
We're officially
quite a big threat.
But you okay with being recorded?
I'm totally okay with being recorded.
I'm okay with being recorded.
I'm fine.
And I'm okay if the government want to use any of this material or anything from the last 3 seasons that we've recorded.
We've put something together that they can use straight away.
Exactly. We've got a highlights reel.
That's very true.
So
actually.
Don't go through all the data to see if we're dodgy. It's there in a highlight reel, 25 minutes.
Definitely.
But because where have we been?
Well, where haven't we been? Woof. Nah. In all seriousness,
right. There's been very little woofage.
We've been doing very little. We've been all sorts of things. We've disappeared. We've been on holidays. We've started new projects. We've changed jobs. Both of us.
Yeah, multiple times.
But
that's for career purposes, not because we're trying to dodge people or keep
tax.
Or tax. No,
we're
we
not
pay
avoiders.
tax and student loans actually.
Yeah. They'll catch up with you. Those guys.
So pay them back because they will find you.
Yeah. And any students watching thinking, hey man, I don't have to pay that back. They will find you.
Don't do a grease on us.
Don't grease yourself.
No.
But yeah, so you've missed what's been happening over the past year. Apple have brought out more products that are slightly better than the old ones.
Obama's gone greyer.
Obama's got a bit greyer. That's true.
Cameron.
Cameron's having a tough time.
He's having a tough time.
He's not. I think I read somewhere that for the first time ever, the rating of Cameron is lower than the Conservatives as a party.
Well, they want him out.
Which is bad news for Cameron, because if you're lower than the Conservatives, you're not having a good time.
Since we last recorded, Andy Murray's won a major.
True. Muzdog.
Alex Ferguson's retired.
Good point. God, it's all happening.
People are still getting abused in Syria.
Yeah, that's still going on.
We're not joking about that.
No, that's...
But just for a historical record, this is like a time capsule.
Yeah.
So you got to rough and the smooth.
Justin Bieber's gone a bit nuts.
Yeah.
Since we last... If anyone's following... Bieber's he's lost his plot a little bit, he's got found with drugs in Sweden, it's just all going wrong for the guy, to be honest with you. What else is that?
That'll probably do.
I think that would do, to be honest,
Let's face
guys.
it, these people, if they really want to know, just go on Google. We don't need a recap on history.
You were here, weren't you?
We're not here to recap history for them.
We're not historians.
They just, at most, would like to know that we haven't disappeared. We didn't go to Mexico. We just haven't recorded for a bit.
Yeah, we've been...
But we're back now, season 4.
4. 4-way family favour.
Fortunately, the world has dealt us the sweetest of episodes to get back onto.
We are ready.
We are ready to invade privacy. Something wrong.
People are getting...
Violently.
Yeah, well, maybe. People are getting a bit antsy about their privacy being eroded by the government, which is the main topic for this podcast.
Surveillance.
So yeah,
hopefully this is actually an opening audition for me to get into the FBI.
Yeah.
Or the NSA, National Security Agency. I remember.
The NSA might not be hiring at the moment.
I think they will be hiring.
Yeah, lawyers. But yeah, so we're going to talk about that, and yeah, so welcome to season 4, listeners. It's going to be a bumpy ride.
4 times.
But it's going to be good. So yeah, let's start the show.
Is this where you put music? was. I just thought, since we actually did record the last episode of the Goodtime Podcast,
yes.
who can remember?
Reagan?
But,
yes. Good times.
Those were the days.
Oh, man.
Cheers.
Cheers.
No, but since we have recorded our last show, one of our dear friends actually has gone on an adventure, and he went to Hong Kong. He went quite suddenly, in my opinion. He just up and left, but he's there now. I think he's doing quite well. It seems it's tough. He's feeling a bit of heat at the minute.
Yeah, he's under pressure, isn't he?
Yeah, but I don't know why.
No, I can't think either.
I'm talking about by the way. Ollie Houston.
Not Snowdon.
Not Snowdon, no.
Oh, was right.
But I think they're mates.
They might be. I think they live next to each other, don't they?
Wow, it would make a lot of sense.
It would make a lot of sense.
Ol records a lot of conversations, mainly of his girlfriend, and she doesn't know that.
Yeah.
So Snowden.
Yeah, I mean,
he's making some big news in the minute, and a lot of enemies.
He is making a lot of enemies. I mean, the word treason's been thrown about quite liberally, so I don't think he's going to be walking into Congress anytime soon. But
do you ever think that treason sounds like a dessert?
I always think that.
Don't you? It's like it's quite a portion of treason. Yeah.
Oh, it's not trifle. Oh, this is awkward.
You've ruined this.
I know, but yeah, no, it does sound like a dessert. Maybe someone should make a dessert called treason.
That's best. A dessert best served cold.
Exactly, with someone's head.
Or a whole load of security documents from the United States. That's how you serve treason.
Exactly.
So this guy, Ed, what's his name? Snowden.
Edward Snowdon.
Not to be confused with the mountain.
Exactly.
Which isn't really a mountain because there's a railroad at the side of it. Which, to be honest with you, come on, you can't be asked to go up a goddamn mountain like Muhammad did, and Moses.
Glad you brought Moses in.
I'm bringing them all. They all went up a mountain. It was fine. Where were we with this? Yes. So, talk to me.
Yeah, so
what's this Snowden guy done?
So obviously the big tech
Houston
story at the moment, viewers, is that the NSA have been a bit naughty.
National Security Agency.
He's taking over from the acronyms. And they have released this piece of software called Boundless Informant. It sounds a little bit like a sex toy, but in fact it's not. It is in fact a very sophisticated piece of software.
It's a sex toy that it tells your partner what you're up to.
just kind of goes about.
Boundless informant
with a little mini camera.
It's the gift you give to her during Valentine's Day, and of course wherever it goes, she goes. No, that's the way around, isn't it? People don't follow sex toys around the country.
No, not that I know of anyway.
But I thought Edward Snowden was the actual boundless informant. It wasn't his nickname.
No. So this is what happened. So
he wishes that was his name.
Yeah, he wished if only.
Like Tonto.
So NSA have been secretly using surveillance on everyone.
Tech and social mainly.
Tech and socials. They've colluded. Well, this is it. They've got 9 internet companies who they allegedly have access to their servers, and of course the big names are there. So Facebook, Google, Yahoo, Microsoft. Of course, these 9 companies hold pretty much 99% of the world's data about all of us. So obviously, by having access to these servers, the government can know whatever they want, and this is of course all of that the name of terrorism and anti-terrorism.
Patriot Act.
Read it. So this is what the NSA have been up to. That's the software.
Do we have an act? We don't, do we? We don't do acts.
We don't do acts.
We might have the open book policy.
It's all about frameworks in the UK. We're it's not about like.
The only act we'll
facts.
find is like in Shakespeare.
Yeah, true.
Act 3.
Act 3. So that's what it was, and this is a software that's been built, and it just and what it does is it records numbers and duration of calls in terms of phone. It doesn't actually listen to your conversation. It just says
it's got all sorts of data though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's got all sorts of data. So
they've got documents, they've got pictures, and they've got written documents. You write. They can go into emails.
Yeah,
it's all of this.
So
it's not just like a conversation.
Is that, but for on the phone side, which is where there was a lot of blow up, was the fact that
don't call it that.
Yeah, it was the fact that people thought that obviously all their conversations were being listened to, actively, which is
And
not
if you're
true.
if you're paying a premium rate, you actually might want your message recorded too, so you can have it again.
So you can play it back. Save you ringing the number again.
So
isn't
many
it, really?
people have built up thousands of pounds in the last few months on sex lines.
Think about those free recordings.
I mean, I would text sex because it's got to be cheaper, isn't it?
I don't know. It depends. If you've got unlimited text,
Well,
look at your phone tariff.
Vodafone need to give us something.
Exactly. Cheers, Voda. But yeah, so that's it. Everyone's been kicking off and saying, "Ugh, our privacy," standard things when people find out that people are spying on them.
Of course, in the States, any news at the minute is bad news for Obama.
Obama.
The biggest mistake Obama made was trying to get re-elected and then succeeding to getting re-elected, because it has just been tough for him.
It's been
and we'll come on to how that this is actually a little bit of a mountain out of a molehill. A little bit.
I think it's a huge mountain.
It's a massive story this week. And Guardian, we all like the Guardian. They write so well and they use really good pictures, and their website, it's slick. But my God, they love themselves. This is their Watergate. Another Watergate.
Yeah, they are really taking this to the next level, Guardian. They're like, oh my God,
but
there could be a robot spying your bin.
When it's probably just the local sex predator.
Exactly. So,
they've come in off the heath and now they're in bins.
And now they're in bins with urban foxes as well.
Well, they've been looking for tactics, and I've heard urban animals move around. Horizon did that documentary on cats.
Really?
Did you not see that?
No.
They put this collar around a cat and they showed cats. So you know that mysterious question of what happens to a cat when it goes out your door if it doesn't get hit by a truck?
Yeah.
And so no one's ever studied
this. They go
this.
to clubs, play.
Man, they've got some weird patterns.
Huge in Camden.
But of course, people can use this to act like a cat. We got some quotes, because it's been the last 2 weeks. It has been filled of this sort of stuff.
It has been filled. I mean,
and it's a sexy story, isn't it? It's like it is.
It's like espionage.
Oh.
There's nothing sexier than espionage. And it's like, oh yeah.
Everyone loves throwing a book around, so it is George Orwell, 1984.
1984, man.
He's lived it.
What happened.
I mean,
sure.
So there's a lot of heat, and I mean, Mr. President Obama. Sorry, not Mr. Not yet.
Mr.
Him and our good old egg friend William Hague have had a couple of quotes which have stirred everyone up. So Obama said that you can't have 100% security with 100% privacy.
I love that quote.
It's true, because you can't have a lot of 100%.
It's not. You can reduce those percentages.
And then of course, good old Willie Hague.
What does Hague say?
Hague said, "Law-abiding citizens have nothing to fear." So this is
again another very good quote.
Because we're all freaking out right now that everything we do is recorded.
Yeah.
And it probably is, because satellites up there.
I don't know.
Ironic, yeah. If nothing's recorded this session, we've massively messed up. But because everyone's freaking out that all of that information's been tapped in, and people are looking at their Facebook profiles.
Update your profile.
with friendly information,
and better pictures.
These people have had to come out and defend what they're doing. And it's interesting, cause everyone it's a very knee-jerk reaction to all this.
In my opinion, I read this interesting tweet from a friend of ours. It was Mario, actually, and
married to Cristofano.
He was married to Cristofano.
He likes a shout out.
He does like a shout, and he pointed out exactly what I was thinking. I'm going to say now, that people who are still clinging on to privacy are, in my eyes, slightly deluded. We gave up our privacy literally about 10 years ago, and nothing has really changed since then. So to go to Obama's quote, I think he's right. And to go to William Hague's quote, I think he's right as well. So first thing, the internet is a free-for-all. Fine, you can do what you want, say what you want, be anonymous, be a troll, say what you want, be awful. Look at what you want.
But troll,
fine.
You're probably going to get caught as you're a troll now.
Exactly, yeah. Trolls are being hunted.
Trolls,
yeah.
You watch yourself, okay?
But
get your fork out.
But the
dining fork.
The
sayings, gardening.
The saying still applies. If there's something you shouldn't be doing, no matter whether it's not on the internet, it's on the internet, then don't be surprised if that's used against you at some point in time. It's the same as it's talking in a pub. So there's two scenarios here, Quaz. Yeah.
I go on Amazon and order a lot of fertilizer. that's gonna raise suspicion if I live in a council block.
He's got a point, right?
And equally, if I go down to my local Weatherspoons and I talk to someone about, can you sort me out a fertilizer, and it isn't a new trendy drug, that's gonna raise suspicions.
Yeah. And that is exactly the first point. There's something you don't think you should be doing, then do not be surprised when that comes back. And okay, law-abiding citizens, you're like,
good film that.
Yeah, you've got nothing to worry about. They're not going through your stuff massively, looking through your emails like, oh wow, look at him, he's just broken up with so and so. Oh man, he's just got a new job. Oh, look at this. It's not like a gossip mill. They're not actually really putting it together as soap opera. It's not. They are trying to target individuals that they think are dangerous.
Although I like the idea of Obama having his press conference with everyone saying, look, you have nothing to fear about your security. We're only targeting people who are a genuine threat to you. Then he goes back into the Oval Office. His CIA agents come in and his support staff and go, Mr. President, Michelle's really furious at you. And he's like, why? What have I done? What have I done? You left your Facebook Messenger open, and a girl named Monica. She's seen some messages from her. I'm sure it's all above board, sir, but you really need to make sure you lock your computer.
Yeah. Control L. Always remember that. That's the best thing you can do for your privacy. But so that's the first point, and also the fact that these big nine. Let's call them the nine. The chosen 9 internet companies that rule the world.
What happened to G8? Did they meet in Watford recently? The 9 and the G8.
The G8 did not meet in Watford. That's a fact.
Oh, I forgot the
G8 summit was not in Watford.
But you know
just outside North London.
you know the secret club met in Watford?
the Bidenberg group.
Yeah.
There's a really funny Andrew Neil when he gets a shot.
The difference between the Bidenberg group and the G8 is the G8 don't have any power. Jokes.
Bit of political commentary for you there. Season 4.
More sharper. Maybe less funnier until we really warm up into this.
Yeah, it takes a
while. By the way, black is such a hot colour. That sounds awful. I just meant it's really... Johnny Cash...
I'm really sorry the viewers had to see that, but... Yeah,
It is really hot under here. It could be the hat.
That might be bleeped out.
No.
Probably all highlighted.
No.
We don't know.
Who cares if it's bleeped out? They've already recorded this.
Yeah, they've seen it already.
What were you going to say?
My other point is that the big 9, the 9 prophets of internet giant power, you've already given them your data. So what is the difference for me between whether Facebook have access to everything, Google have access to everything, they know what you search. If they get subpoenaed, they have to give that away. Not much has really changed when you think about it in that logic.
No.
If push comes to shove, the government will get information from any of those 9 internet companies. They cannot withhold it. So you've already given them your data. All your photos are on Instagram. All your check-ins are on... Where do people check in? Foursquare.
No, not in this country.
Not in this country.
American listeners, maybe.
You're tweeting on Twitter. Everything is with these big 9. So don't tell me now that your privacy is invaded because you find out that actually there's a piece of software going out that's checking who you call and stuff.
Especially when most of you are sending apparently disposable pictures of your body parts to other people because you believe they'll be destroyed in 30 seconds.
Oh, this is Snapchat.
This is Snapchat.
I'm still not
Snapchat. Whole lot of fun. Relationships to be ruined.
Yeah, a lot of relationships are going to be ruined by Snapchat because the problem with Snapchat is, just really quickly off subject, is that the point of this, it's meant to get destroyed after 9 seconds.
Nothing gets destroyed. No data gets destroyed.
And a good friend of ours figured a loophole through this because he's been Snapchatting a lot.
No, apparently you can't take a screen grab.
You can. Can you not screen grab?
I don't think you can.
Because I think you can screen grab.
No,
because
I'm
I've seen
sure
a picture on his phone of a screen grab.
Maybe he has. I just thought he started taking pictures of his phone.
But I think you can screen grab, which basically nullifies the whole point. But what do you think?
Going back to sort of this whole surveillance thing. Yeah, I mean, I agree with everything you said, Quaz, which makes a change. Actually, it's not true. Actually, we agree on a lot. But for me, it's you got your 2 points. It's the first point is you have a choice fundamentally when you begin on the internet. I mean, it's a world that we can't avoid now. I mean, all the information's there, and it's a wonderful place because we've never been more free to access information. It's a great time to live in that point of view. Never have so many people had access to so much information.
Very true.
But if you're concerned about this thing, you need to work out how you can live incognito. How you how you can, you don't use...
For anyone using any techies there who use Chrome, you know what we're talking about. All right.
Search history. Or use a different browser for porn, which is what I do, but it's fine.
No one was talking about porn.
No, I know, it's fine. I just mentioned it. But you have that's the first stage of when you're on the internet. You're like, if I'm going to sign up for these things, then that's a choice I've got to make.
It's true. It's
and
very true.
The other thing is, it is this gut reaction that we feel like a civil liberty's been invaded.
Approached.
And it's because there's so much information out there. Phones have been tapped for years.
Years and years.
People have over-listened. Careless talk costs lives. That was a fantastic World War II campaign.
That is a great campaign, actually.
It is.
And the posters were
they were great, of some sort of like, some woman, some hussy.
I remember I just loved the shh.
Did you?
That's the greatest one.
And so we have this choice, really, of like what we're going to do with it. And the real point, I think, is you're right, is how much do we actually care about our personal security and our personal details online? Because we are feeding this monster. We are consciously... If you don't think you're feeding it on the internet with your Facebook page and your Twitter account and you're expressing your views, then you're an idiot. You're a moron. Because that is what we're doing, is we're all of our thoughts, and I understand there is a balance, because what the internet has provided people with is a place to develop themselves in a way that they may not be able to do offline.
Yeah.
So you can explore different interests in a way that 20 years ago you couldn't, because you're pretty fixed. I'm not talking about quirky things. I'm talking about general interests. But the internet isn't a private place, and that's what we need to make sure that we don't forget. Because, don't get me wrong, privacy, in terms of the way the human brain processes things and the autonomy of making decisions and coming up to views, is a vital piece.
True.
And don't get me wrong, if someone's bugging our room, that we've got some serious issues. But if people are looking on the internet, we're feeding a public space, essentially.
You are
information.
feeding servers.
And servers are hungry.
And if servers are hungry for your data, you feed them every day with your photos, your updates, your tweets, your check-ins.
Some of them you don't even need to do. Have you seen people who upload Instagram photos of a dog repeatedly? No.
That dog's just like, get me off Instagram. Why am I on there?
You actually make quite...
Suing. My owner has actually published a lot of photos of me. I'm having none of it.
Do you know who doesn't stand a chance? Babies.
Oh, babies.
Babies do not stand a chance. Babies have got such an imprint on the internet.
Can you imagine, like, you're born now, you've already got a Facebook profile, don't even want one, and you're thinking to yourself, well, why have you got that? Why have you done this? You shared them with everyone.
I wanted to use Lycos. I heard about the dog. Kids like dogs. I wanted a Lycos profile.
But I think you're totally right, and it's, I think if people really realised how much information there is about them, just by typing their name into Google, or just by amalgamating, Twitter's public. that gives you so much information. It's not even funny. Your Facebook profiles. I know you say that. It's within a closed group because they're your friends. And,
but it's still a third party platform.
A third party platform. You do not own that data. Facebook owns it. If Facebook is applicable to the laws just like any other company.
And guys, if you read them T's and C's,
those T's and C's, you would be horrified. I think people would be more horrified if they read the T's and C's of standard like cloud services agreements than if they actually found out
just
about this
iTunes.
whole bandless for iTunes. Yeah, Apple own everything. Apple basically come to your house once a year, cook themselves a meal, and then watch a movie, and possibly take your telly afterwards.
Or worse. Your only child.
You really need to read those T's and C's.
It's true.
They don't mess about, do they?
Apple and King Harold.
Yeah. Almost the same person.
Exactly.
But yeah, I think. It'll be interesting.
Much ado about nothing.
I think this is much ado about nothing, and I think it's a shame for Obama because it's it's sort of really. I imagine this is derailed him because he's thinking. He's got stuff to do.
Everything's derailing him.
Everything's derailing him, and just when you don't need a distraction to blow up worldwide, this happens, and he's going to be a busy man for the next 6 to 9 months. Let's just leave it at that. But it'll be very interesting to see what you think, viewers. Are you bothered about people tapping your phones? Would you let the Goodtime Podcast listen to your
If I was rummaging in your bins, would that worry you? Just generally.
Would it be more... Would you rather have Fox rummaging in your bins than Julian Bracey Davis. Now, remember, I know how he's dressed, so imagine he's not dressed so threateningly. I don't know. It will, let us know.
This opens doors.
Exactly. Let us know, viewers. But Jules, are you going to tell him about the next segment and the new feature we're going to have?
Well,
right
of course.
After the short commercial break.
I can. Let's just call it the Hive. And do you have to do like clappy stuff? So like we seamlessly have a break. Or...
Oh no! I was just going to say.
Genuinely, I'm so rusty at this. I can't remember how this show works. I don't even know if we're talking to a camera.
Of the show. Anyway, we'll leave it at that. We're about to come in with a brand new feature
called the Hive.
Viewers, so don't go anywhere. Don't miss out. All right.
I'm glad they're here. I'm glad they're glad.
So, Julian Bracey Davis, what is the Hive?
I'm so glad you asked me that question, of course. Well, I wanted to somehow come up with a way that we could talk about something that's we've discussed like off camera, something that is topical, which isn't as serious as the theme time. Just saying that maybe it's sort of any other business type feature.
Any other business.
But in social and tech, any other business doesn't suffice. So I thought the Hive is the section because that's where it belongs, and of course it's all about buzz.
Buzz.
Bees. What people are talking about online. And bees, buzz, hive.
Wow.
Not gonna lie to you.
Who brings in more honey?
Exactly. So, of course, this is something that you brought up with me this week, and like we're gonna be polite and we're gonna be reasonable about this subject.
Of course we are.
We're not. It's not about saying who's right or wrong. It's just something that we want to bring out as a different opinion. So £5 notes, our beloved British £5 note. If I had one, I would show it, but I don't. I don't have a lot of money. I rented most of this, and
It's all rented.
My earpiece isn't from the NSA. It's actually just iPod.
And this is not our office. This is someone else's. So we've got to get this wrapped up.
It's your room, isn't it?
I don't know.
But the £5 note. So briefly, about 2 months ago, or maybe it was a bit longer than that. But the £5 note is going to have a bit of a revamp. And it's going to go from a young lady from Fry to a new person called Churchill. So we're going to change it up, basically. And now Elizabeth Fry, who's currently on the £5 note, is someone who did a lot of work in the late 1800s, I think early 1900s, to improve prison welfare.
Yes.
She's a proper, a woman who really, not just pushed the boundaries of what women are capable of, actually just what British culture and humanity was capable for. So she's a big deal, and she did some great work, deserving to be on the £5 note. Definitely. Now she's being refreshed on the £5, as happens in this country quite a lot. Every few years, the notes get refreshed, with the exception of a few people who are always there.
The £20 one was done at some point, wasn't it?
And so Churchill is going to be imprinted on our notes soon. Not a bad guy.
Yeah.
Won the war.
He did.
He may have had some tricky politics either side, but the point is that he did a lot of good. Fundamentally, he should go down as one of the great Britons.
Of course, yeah, great Prime Minister.
And so the debate that's what happened, which is something you've highlighted to me, is basically that there are a few people online, maybe men and women,
both.
There's an issue with the fact there are no other women on any other note when Elizabeth Fry goes off, and I just don't get it. I just don't see the debate. I know Churchill's not everyone's cup of tea, but he is deserving of his plinth there. There are some great, fantastic women in our history. We're talking about Florence Nightingale. I thought you were going to give me one then.
No.
Jane Austen.
There's a lot of huge contenders there.
Parkhurst.
True, very true.
So she was the important suffragette.
True.
And so we're not saying that you shouldn't have a good, strong female note. That'd be great. But there's this real anti-Churchill being on a £5 note.
Yeah.
And we're just saying that there's actually been a woman on the note for, 65 years? Is it 65 years?
Yeah, I think...
Is it 60 years? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I've done the maths.
Yeah. She's quite important though, so she probably...
She's on stamps as well.
She's on stamps, yeah. She gets...
And coins.
And quite a lot of stuff. And she is the monarch.
Is that the Queen? Is that the Queen?
I think that's the Queen.
Is
right?
is that a female character or person? Not a character. She exists.
Yeah,
But
she does.
is that a female that a lot of us, despite the fact obviously she's been born into something, but she's done a lot of great work. She's represented our country in a way which is completely and utterly
unbelievably well.
You just look up to it.
Definitely.
Be you male or female. And if anything, I would say that there's probably not enough men on notes because of that.
Well, yeah, I mean...
We need more men.
You're going to start an anti-movement.
No, not at all. I'm just saying, whenever the new monarch comes in, maybe we should switch the gender alignment.
Oh, I think so.
Not the monarch, because that would be sort of weird. But, if it's Charles or William, they'll be on one side of everything.
Yeah.
And then maybe we get all of our great women in history on the other side.
That's true.
I just think of all the things to sort of start a petition about...
It's not, yeah.
You're fine. Have your views. I'm just saying Churchill's worthy, and there'll be other great women will return on notes.
They will in good time. I mean, it's coming back. So I was reading a few tweets on Twitter, and there was a really angry tweet being like, "Retweet because we want stop women from disappearing from notes." Which is as
do you know what I want to stop? Do you know what's more important? I want women to stop disappearing in Europe for the sex trade. No,
that's serious. That's a serious point.
That's a serious point of that's something that we should be moaning about and being concerned about is that the and it is female.
There are genuine
gangs in Europe who are kidnapping women and taking them away to do horrible things. That's something we should be tweeting about. That's a real concern. Maybe we should. I'm not saying we put a gang members on a £5 note.
Yeah. No, I think.
But if that raises a profile of it, that's more important to me than bitching about the fact that we've got some guy who looks like an egg and has a cigar coming out of his face every 5 minutes.
Get on our notes. I think you're right. I think there are real issues. I think I understand the point, but
will you become more male orientated and sexist because you don't see a female on a note for probably at most 6 or 7 years?
It's not. I don't think it's going to change views too much, to be honest. I think it's an issue. I can understand where people are coming from. However, I agree with you that it's kind of given things like the European sex trade, the the gender pay gap, things like that are real issues. I think that women on notes, fantastic, but it's not.
You think women are fantastic? Great. That hasn't made us look really bad.
But it's kind of. I don't think it's a pressing issue, and that did make me sort of chuckle reading through various people getting. It's one of those things. People get caught up in things online.
It's like security.
When something starts up and someone says something, and then people reply back, and it only ends up with it escalating, and before people are saying, I'm gonna shove that note up your and it gets just But the thing is, when you shove the note, the only thing is who's on the note? Who's on the note? Before you shove it, who's on it?
Make sure it's a £10. If you're shoving a £5 note up something,
I will so help you God.
that will upset people even more. That's the buzz, the conversation, and there's our
what else has been going on?
No, that's the main one.
That's the main one. I was just thinking, any other business? I'm just trying to think.
No, it's not any other business because I stole that from something else.
Okay,
so we did not say this is that. The Hive.
The Hive.
Because of buzz.
What else has been going? What are people talking about at the moment? Oh, there's just very quick recap. Apple had their Worldwide Developers Conference last week.
And chipping with Apple as well, but of course, PlayStation, Xbox.
I was going to come on to
that.
Oh,
were you?
I was literally buzzing with anticipation. We're back. Oh. Yes. But anyway, what I was going to say really was that...
All I know is Elizabeth Fry is fuming right now. Who let these idiots have a voice?
Who let them? It's free.
It's true. If we went to jail, we'd have better standards because of her. So,
exactly.
Cheers, Liz.
So...
Xbox being slated.
They got owned by PlayStation 4 for various reasons. The new Xbox...
Season 4.
Season 4, yeah, the various reasons. Xbox, I think its backward compatibility is shocking. Also, they're going to make you pay for streaming. The PlayStation model just looks better, and because Sony know what they're doing. One thing I really love about the PS3 that they said, actually, we're not going to just make it a games console. We're going to make it an entertainment hub. And I was one of the first champions of the PS3, and remember when I got it, the key we didn't even play a game for about 6 months. We just used the Blu-ray player. Because it was like, wow, we've now got this whole Blu-ray thing.
I don't know if that's true.
And and it was
definitely
just
played Pro.
Oh, we definitely played a bit of PES, but it's just a great all-round entertainment device. And instead of going down that road, Xbox have been like, we're still gameless games consoles. But I think people do actually want now a bit of everything, because you're not going to pay £400 for something that's one thing. You know, smartphones can do a million things. So that was one of the bits of the Hive.
I think we're almost there, surely.
What's that?
We don't want to. You can't shove too much honey in the Hive.
No, but I wanted to just touch on the developers conference, because that is quite a big deal.
iOS 7.
iOS 7. So they previewed that, and also the new Mac operating system. They've lost all the cats. So remember
what animal are we on now?
Okay, you will love this, by the way.
It's the turtle, isn't it?
No,
I knew the turtle would be back.
No, the turtle's not
Ostrich.
back. So.
Give me a clue.
Mac OS X 10.9 Maverick.
Ooh.
Yes.
I do like that.
I knew you'd like that. It's called Maverick. So check it out. I won't talk about it too much. But so they've released with new features, sort of standard Apple, just making it prettier and slightly more functional. And that is the Hive. What people are talking about.
I'm just going to see what's happening online right now.
Yeah.
But,
Jules is just taking Twitter. But it's been really good.
It's good to be back.
I'm going
Bear
to
with
take
us.
these glasses off.
I won't, because I don't want people to know my eyes. That's the next thing. They'll steal my eyes.
Exactly.
I've seen Minority Report. We're 2 steps away. You know, would
PRISM.
Could
I steal your eyes?
No. If you could prevent a murder.
Oh, we're not. We have got time to get into the synopsis of Minority Report,
right,
because we all know it's a sham, and we're not going to talk about it on this podcast.
All right. Can I ask you one last question then? If
would I take the red?
No,
or the
no.
blue?
Would you? What happens if you dream about having a dream about Inception? So if you're having a dream about a dream that's inside of a dream, where does that take you? If you're having a dream about the dream of the dream,
I don't know, but we need an architect, as they had in Inception, before we can answer that question.
Cool.
Viewers, it's been a pleasure.
Yep.
To sit in front of you and record this. It's very nice to be back. I'm really looking forward to this season. There's a lot of cool stuff coming your way. The guests will be back in the next few episodes.
Yeah.
And
Murray just won
in Queens as well. Wimbledon starting soon, so get your pins ready.
Guests will be there, and we'll warm ourselves back into this.
I'm so excited, and so see you very soon for episode 2, viewers.
And we'll know what you're saying about us, because we're going to bug you.
Exactly. So don't worry. We'll know your feedback, because we'll just PRISM it.
Or I'll be in your bins.
Real threat. But the new search.
Sue me.
The new search is that when you want to find out, general information like who was Winston Churchill, you Google it. But when you want to find out where your partner was last night, PRISM it.
Or Snapchat archive. And
Or
on
Snapchat
that. Right, cool.
Cool. See you soon, viewers.
Good night.
Good night.
Sometimes the sparks just don't fly.
Do you think I'm intimidating?
Yeah.
You're joking.
If you're still searching for that special someone,
I've been single for like 7 years.
That's fussy.
head online to meet our singles.
Look at this head of hair. It's natural blonde.
Apply for the chance to date your favourite.
I've never been bought flowers before in my life.
I would love to find love.
And you could be sitting opposite them on the show the following week.
I am a nice person and I think I'd make a good girlfriend.
Not that fussy.
First Dates continues Thursday at 9 on 4. Apply to date now. Go to channel4.com/firstdate.